this amazing building, which was called Zimbabwe, and it used to be called Rhodesia before, when Zimbabwe was too colonized. So the name changed from Rhodesia to Zimbabwe, and the name came from this ancient dwelling, as you can see here. Right, ethnicity, there's a total of 16 languages. I think it's more. For example, I speak Shona, and it has different accents basing of where you grew up from. So it can be the same Shona, but different way of speaking. Just like how I've noticed that Turkish people in Cyprus, they have their own Turkish, so something like that. It's also the same here. And English is the main language, but Shona is the main language. But English is the official language. And there's a small group of people who speak French as well. And Shona dominate the country because they're around 70%. Ndebele are originally from South Africa. They came from South Africa to Zimbabwe, and they formed their group called Ndebele, but they are originally Zulus. I don't know if you know anything about Zulu. So there's Zulu people from South Africa who came to Zimbabwe and are now known as Ndebele. And the population distribution, this is Harare, which is the capital city. This is in the town center, the CBD. And these are just examples of what the infrastructure looks like. So for example, this is a high density area, which is known as the ghetto. And this is rural housing, which are the villages. They're basically just examples. And this is the low density housing. So this is someone's house. This is one person's house in the low density. But this is the minority. The low density is the minority in Harare. The largest population is from the high density area. Yeah. And this is the picture from the first slide, which is the Victoria Falls. If you ask me, like, Tanaka, where would you recommend me to go right now to Zimbabwe? I'll tell you Vic Falls, because it's one of the world's natural wonders. Very, 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 very nice. And there's a lot of things to do. You can spend the whole weekend, actually 3 days, just going around. There is the waterfalls, the activities. There's a lot of wildlife, which are the lions, the leopards, cheetahs, rhinos, etc., etc. So you can find everything there in Victoria Falls. It's a place called Victoria Falls. And down below here, this is an example of the hotel that you can find there. There's a lot. You can camp, you can go to a hotel. There's a lot of accommodation choices that you can choose from. So indigenous name is Musutunya, which basically means the smoke that thunders. You actually need a raincoat to go around this area because it's always raining from the waterfall. So this is about Victoria Falls. Right. I gave some information here about Victoria Falls. Right. National heritage. This is another place from the far right, top far right. It's called Kariba. It's just like Victoria Falls, but yeah, it's called Kariba. That's another town. And this is Matopo's Hill, which is found in the Ndebele people. There is a lot of, I think it has the largest wildlife. They're actually just free. They are not in a park. So if you go there, you have to stay in a car, or you have to be protected because you can walk into a lion. Yeah. So this is a cheetah. This is a lion. This is a rhino. This is a giraffe. These are elephants. You can find everything. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Okay. So these are some of the places that you could visit. Victoria Falls, which is almost near different directions to Kariba, Harare, Great Zimbabwe. There's a lot of things to see from there. And then the economic indicators, major trading partners are South Africa, which is next to us, as well as Dubai, United Emirates, Mozambique, Zambia, and Botswana. And major trading partners are South Africa, surprisingly, UK and United States, because they have bad relations with the ruling party. But they still happen to be one of the major trading partners for Zimbabwe. China included, Zambia and Mozambique. Major economic drivers, agriculture. There's a lot of agriculture. There are people that actually stay and survive from their own crops. So they use it to eat, they use it to sell in order to survive. There is also a lot of industry from food, local made, steel, wood products, chemicals, etc. And there's a lot of mining as well, gold, coal, everything. I think you can find everything from the mining sector. And then services, which make the large part, which is the tourism. For example, Victoria Falls in Lake Kariba. Zimbabwe health system is governed by the Ministry of Health Childcare, consists of 4 administrative levels, which is the national, provincial, district, and community levels. Yes, and these are some of the examples of the hospitals. For example, this is the provincial, this is the central hospital, and this is the rural hospital. Now, there's a lot of athletes, but I wanted to make I wanted to make the presentation shorter. So these are some of the well-known athletes from Zimbabwe. Kest Coventry, I think she has a lot of gold medals from swimming, from Olympics, and she is now the Minister of Sports in Zimbabwe at the moment. So she used to be an athlete, and now she is a Minister of Sports. And then we have Marvelous Nakamba. Marvelous Nakamba plays for Aston Villa. So if you watch the Premier League and you see him, he's from Zimbabwe as well. And there are many other names, Peter Ndlovu, etc., etc. But I think these are the most famous guys at the moment from Zimbabwe. And also here in Turkey, we have 2 guys who play for the league here in Turkey. Alek Mlimu, based in Ankara, and Debe is based here in Istanbul, and he plays for Yeni. I think he's one of the top big top defenders in the league here in Turkey. His full name is Debe Teenage Adib. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys, for your time. I think this is about it. I wanted to make it short. So thank you once again for giving me the floor.
Oh, thank you, Tanaka, for this nice presentation. So can we receive some questions for you?
Yes, please.
Okay, all right. So how was it for the participants? Do you have any questions, any comments? Welcome, Bobby.
And go back to the nature and ask like what kind of local trees you have. Doesn't matter if gave some cherries or not. Just I'm really curious what kind of local trees and also the names, if that's possible. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of indigenous trees, but my specialty is in the ones that are edible. So you can say I like food. So we have what we call Mazhanje.
Mazhanje.
We have mutamba. We have tsvubvu.
Sorry,
Nyii,
I couldn't hear the name.
TSU.
Maybe I can write it down in the
Okay,
chat.
thank you. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
So tsvubvu, then we have nyii. We also have Shona.
and those are all local trees and
They
food.
are all local from Zimbabwe. Yes.
Wow, wow,
Mm.
wow, that's really glad to hear. Now I'm glad.
Tanaka likes Mazhanje, so I'm sure he will share them with you if he comes here at some point. So I'm really glad to see you.
Okay, thank you anyways.
So, are there some special days in Zimbabwe? And what are those dates? You know, like natural feast or any day. And what do you do?
We don't really have what I can say is our own. We just celebrate the normal holidays. Zimbabwe is largely a Christian country, but we have also a lot of the Muslim community. So we do celebrate both the Christmas, and then I can't remember what they call it in Muslim, and we celebrate independence and all those other things. So we celebrate just the normal holidays, but the way we celebrate now is what I can probably talk about. What is called celebration by people is people gather together as what we call extended families, usually in the rural areas. So this is a time when people can go to meet their families and their parents and so on. So people gather together, maybe 50 of you in the rural area, then you have the sadza and other traditional goodies. So that's the way we celebrate. So like last Christmas, people couldn't travel to the rural areas because of COVID-19. So if